When I was a kid growing up in the country, every spring, me and my family would go mushroom hunting. Now, I know that may sound weird to some of you, but we would go out into the woods and look for mushrooms. The way it worked was you just went to the woods, you looked down, and you walked through the woods looking for mushrooms, specifically morel mushrooms, kind of a spongy type of mushroom. And some of you may be thinking, man, did you need to get a life? And maybe so. But it wasn't as easy as it sounds. Because as you're walking through the woods, everything is camouflaged. It's covered with leaves and covered with sticks and fallen trees. And those mushrooms were not that easy to find. I felt that way when I was going through Numbers chapter 26. I mean, it's full of numbers and names. And I knew there was something in there for me, but it just wasn't that easy to find. Like mushroom hunting, it took some time and some looking and some patience. But I did find two big mushrooms, if you will, in Numbers chapter 26. The first is that God is always faithful to His word and His promises. He always delivers. He may not deliver when and how we want Him to, but He always delivers. And the second thing I found in that chapter was that God is unrelentingly faithful to being gracious and merciful to us. In that chapter, even though Korah sinned in such a way that it brought about the deaths of 250 people, God was still faithful and gracious and merciful to continue His line, so His line didn't disappear. Those are the two big constants in the universes, the two big mushrooms, if you will, that God is always faithful to deliver on His word and His promises, and that God is relenting and faithful to show His grace and mercy. So this week, I want you to look for those two mushrooms in your life. It may be hard. I mean, there may be a lot of leaves and limbs and down trees in your way this week. But see if you can look past those and find those two truths. That God has been unrelenting in His grace and mercy to you, and that God is faithful to keep His word to you. Happy hunting. See you next week.